there y'all, Yamahsaki here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be looking at my blacksmithing set. I'm still a beginner, so don't take everything I say as serious. And if you want to stick around to see this, stay tuned. Before I get into everything here and everything else, one of the Yamahsaki crew members is with me. He's never actually been in a video.
Hello.
Mikey. Big Mikey right there. He's going to be my cameraman for today, and he's also going to be cueing in on some things, because, Mikey, explain your blacksmithing knowledge.
Forged in fire.
I thought you said you forged something back when you was in the military, your little spiel or whatever. Or was that made up?
That was fucking that was like a Boy Scouts type thing. And I made a cross.
You made a cross.
And a professional forge. And have since lost said cross. I have no idea where it is.
And you said you forge welded that too, right?
Yeah.
So you have a little more experience than I even do, Mikey. Just by that much, So we're going to give the camera back to Mikey, and I'm going to blabble on, and then he's going to blabble on, and so we'll see how things go.
We're going to blabble.
We're going to blabble.
Blabble.
We're going to blabble.
Blabble on.
Alrighty, so I'm going to start off with my anvil. You guys might have seen my other video on these two items here, which, by the way, if you haven't, link will be down in the description below to that video. But this is the 25-pound anvil that I was talking about, but it actually weighs 20 pounds, so I kind of got screwed on that deal. And it's made of cast iron, but it's been working out great. The surface is kind of, getting a little bumpy, but, me and Mikey have been hammering on it for, what, 2 days now?
Yesterday there was a blizzard. It was cold.
Yes, there was.
And it was enjoyable.
It was. And the forge is, depending on what material you get, which there's my scrap pile right there, just whatever metal you got, you can use in this type of craft here. But depending on how big your stuff is, you can get up to forging temperatures in this thing, just with charcoal. I'm sure if you used coal, it would be way easier and way quicker. Some of the tools that I made, and these are all just basic tools. And there's a knife here. I've made most of these things out of these big nails, and I'm pretty sure they're either railroad nails or some heavy construction nail. But you've got a hold fast, which doesn't really hold anything very fast at all either. This is my little charcoal poker, so if we need to
Cooking it up in the kitchen.
Cooking it up in the kitchen, if we need to move that charcoal around, we can. And then I made this for my buddy Garrett. It's a nice little knife. I think I'm going to do what you said, Mikey, and curve that around, and I think that'll look real good.
Absolutely, brother.
Add a little blade, a little edge to it, and this thing will do good. I had plans to make it a double end, but that's not how it worked out in the end.
Forge was too small in the end. Yes,
that is one thing I will say. The only complaint about this is, aside from it, making a little grinding noise in the blower, it would kind of stick a little bit and not bring enough air in, and so you really had to crank this thing. It seems to have stopped doing that now, so I think the gears have wore in the gear case. But the only problem I have about this forge is it's too small. If you have something this big, I've been using a brick to hold it in, and trying to heat up the middle or something, you need a big pile of coal right there. So they do make one, Mikey, and I was surprised about this, Mikey, is they make one that's maybe about this big. I think I paid $100 for this thing, I think that one runs maybe about $260 on Amazon. So with a bigger blower.
That's not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
But I'm still gonna try and make one out of that turkey fryer over there,
Turkey fryer.
behind that jack.
Oh,
Yeah. It's gonna be really redneck.
yeah. Redneck.
We're used to that, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Another little thing I made was a hardy hole cutter, and most of this material is made out of mild steel, so I haven't done any tempering or anything on these tools, and they're still working fairly well. So I just don't know the tempering and stuff, so that edge kind of got a little bumped. So I think I may have to temper this to make it work a little bit, but it works. Mikey cut one of his projects the other day, so it works.
It does work, and it, not gonna lie, it was some cold steel I was cutting.
It was some cold steel. Now we'll move on to some of the tools. This was my first hammer that I got, a little 2.5 pounder from Harbor Freight, and it works beautifully. It is both me and Mikey's favorite hammer to use.
Hammer.
So, little 2.5 pounder right there. I got this guy from Murdoch's. This is a 3-pound cross peen. And what did you call it, Mikey? What did you call it the other day? You called it Big Daddy or something?
Oh yeah, Big Papa.
Big Papa.
Big Papa.
This is Big Papa. And then I just went and bought this one today, a bigger ball peen hammer.
Big old sexy.
From Ace Hardware. But
make some spoons.
yes, but little did I know, Mikey, this gets better.
What's
Dad
that?
brought home a bigger ball peen hammer.
Dang!
Look at that thing.
She's monstrous.
Yeah. So that's what me and Mikey were doing. We were using this end and using another hammer and tapping it to make a little spoon shape. So, you know, that's just beginner stuff.
Use what you got.
Yes,
you know
exactly.
What I'm saying? Use what you got.
Moving to the other side, we got some new additions. And actually, now that I think about this, I now have no room to put a little metal box here to hold some more hardy tools because of what I've done here, but I'll make it work. I'll make it work. We got a little brush holder right here. You know, if you need to get the scale off of your projects real quick, we got a brush right here. And then right here, I don't have my gloves. Or did I bring my gloves? No, I did not. This is a little glove holder. So I'll just hang my gloves right there. And that's practically it for the setup. I didn't explain the stand. The stand is made up of a bazillion pieces of flat wood. I just found the biggest pieces and I kind of made it a pyramid the best I could. But all I did was I glued them together and then I air nailed them together. And I did that all the way up until these 3 little blocks here. These are all screwed in. And then I screwed the anvil in. And everything stays. I mean, it moves around, but it does the job.
Does the job.
But no, for $100, I believe India has done something beautiful here, you know. You can make a forge in the ground with rocks and everything like that. It just makes it a lot harder. So right here, they've given you a product right out of the gate that you can just put some charcoal in, light it up, and you're going to work. Now you can see my little redneck. I just mounted it to a board. I used some chain, and it's not all the way on there, but it works for what it is. I needed a bigger base because this base is tiny. It's tiny, but I clamped it to a bar stool from, I don't know, well, it looks like the 90s. So, yeah, this is our redneck setup. So, what do you think, Mikey? You got anything to say? You want me to take the camera so you can say some pieces?
I think the forge from India is a good call.
It's a good call.
Building your own in the ground.
Yeah.
Because that would have taken way too long.
It would have. It really would have.
Way too long.
Way too long.
I don't know. The fucking, I mean, friendly. The crank to it, I don't like how close it is to the actual forge itself.
True.
Because if you're not wearing gloves and you're just spinning it, you'll get some burn. It's just some burnage, you know. Nothing too critical.
Yeah.
But I did have an ember drop down my back the other day.
That
was not
fun.
pleasant.
That's never fun.
It was not pleasant.
That's never fun. Well, Mikey, I will say they do, aside from making a slightly bigger, I think this is a 7.5-inch bowl. They make a slightly bigger one on an 8.5-inch bowl. And then they make that bigger one, but they also separately make bigger blowers. So, you know, for building your own forge. So they kind of got the whole thing going on.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, they probably know what they're doing better than I do.
Yeah.
So, but no,
We're both beginners. We're just trying to figure this out. And Mikey brought up a good idea. Well, we could maybe sell some products to some local companies out where we live. So,
absolutely.
you know, product. Oh, and Mikey, I'm gonna go get the bucket because I gotta show them the quenching bucket, right? And we gotta
bucket.
Yeah, bucket. Are you filming the cat?
No.
Alrighty. So what I got here is a old brass bucket that I got from my local antique shop. Paid about 60 bucks for it. A little pricey, but if it holds oil, I'm going to be real happy. And then I started cutting out a piece of wood here that's going to go slightly in there. Just like that. Going to have a handle on it just to keep the weather out and everything. I can use this with water, I can use it with oil, but if I use it with water, I fear that in the winter it's going to expand and just completely blow a hole right through this brass. So we're not going to do that. And yesterday me and Mikey were trying to cut a stump in half and ultimately failed because of the weather.
No, so the batteries,
The
right?
batteries, well,
because
the
he has electric and gas chainsaws.
Yes.
None of his gas chainsaws work.
Not currently.
At the moment, none of them work. So he only has electric. We charged the battery for like half an hour.
Yeah, probably.
Went out, started working away at it, and it said the battery was dead. So.
Yeah. And I went out later after you left that yesterday, Mikey, and I kind of got through it. Our cut kind of went around and it completely missed the other side of the cut. So we have some work to do.
That's not my fault. That's not my fault. Blame him. He did it.
Here's the thing. If you're cutting a big tree, you need a big bar, right? What are you doing there, silly goose? You need a big bar for a big tree stump, right? Mikey, come on, man. Come on, what are you doing? You need a big bar to cut through a big log, right? Well, ours is probably a standard 14 or 16 inch, I'm not entirely sure. So I kept flipping the log. And ultimately, I'm sure you have to cut straight down and across that log in order to keep it straight. So what I did, it was my fault. We got this, Mikey. It was my fault. It was my fault. But
It's okay. It's in the past.
we're going to fix it. We're going to get a stump. Because what I want to do is I want to put a stump practically right beside Mikey here. And it's going to have a shelf that'll hold this quench bucket right here. So, and this is our little blacksmith spot. It's right out here, you know. We're just outside under the porch here. So, Mikey, you got anything else you need to say to the people before we close this video out?
I don't think I do, other than stay breezy.
Stay breezy.
Enjoy some mac and cheese whenever
Enjoy
you
some
see
mac
this
and
video.
cheese. Yes.
And subscribe to Yamahsaki.
Yes.
There's no better frickin' YouTube channel out there, man.
You have to wash your mouth out with soap, boy.
Boy.
Anyways, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more content. Yamahsaki out.